Hey Mark, Single Car Garage. How y'all doing? Let me show you what I've been doing today in the shop. We built this 66 C10 2 years ago, started 3 years ago, finished it up 2 years ago. And one of the things that I have not liked the complete time was the gap between the bed and the cab. Now I have already fixed it, but prior to me fixing it today, we had a lot more distance here between the bed and the cab than we did at the bottom. It wasn't even. It didn't look good. It set funny over the tires also. The other thing I didn't like was the chrome didn't line up great. And again, the back end of the bed was about a ½ inch too low, which left the gaps weird between the bed and the cab, and it just set funny over the tires. When we originally built it, it was just one of those things that it looked close and it looked good when we were aligning everything up after we'd painted it, because we painted it completely apart. And I don't know if it's settled a little bit, which it shouldn't because it's metal against metal, or it just looked good because it was done. And the more I looked at it and the more I drove it, the more I didn't like it. But I knew it was something I needed to fix, and so I picked a day to fix it. And it's been about a 4-hour project. What has to be done is this stainless steel strip I took off. This stainless strip I loosened. Same thing on this side. This side I took off. This side I loosened. Once I had this side off and this side loosened, you can take this board and twist it up and bring it out. Now the reason we did that, this spacer right here, I needed to make a new one. That bolt runs from underneath the board down to the bottom, underneath where my finger is, but there's nothing holding it. I had to get a wrench on the head of it. What I would suggest when you put your bed together is tack weld that bolt in, and that way you never have to do that. You wouldn't have to take the wood out. It'd be easier to make an adapter. You would still have to undo your bed from your frame to raise it up, but it might be a little bit easier that way. But my old adapter, it was this size, which you can see the difference. It's about a ½ inch difference in the adapters. And I also made a much prettier adapter this time, a black adapter that looks good. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit cleaner, and I think it looks a lot better underneath the truck. Now you have two mounting points, one here and one about right here on the bed. It had to make a new adapters for 4 adapters, 2 on each side. And then we got it all bolted down, put the wood back in, and got the strips all bolted down. One thing I did notice when I was underdoing the strips was a lot of the old nuts had loosened up quite a bit, and I guess that's where the wood dried out. This wood was probably not 100% dry when I bought it, and we made this bed. So it's shrunk down a little bit in time. So I went through and retightened all the stainless steel bolts from underneath the truck, which is a fun job. But I would suggest if you put a bed in after about 2 years, go back and check them just to make sure that they're all tight. And you'll notice them. I'd heard a little bit of rattling when I was driving down the road every once in a while. And I kind of knew I had a couple loose. And then when I got under there, every single one of them needed a little bit tightening. Now, thinking I've discussed this before, but my wood is hand rubbed oil. I wanted to get that aged look, and if you'll notice close, we've got a little bit of that aged look in the wood, and that's what I wanted. I'm not a big fan of the clear. I think it looks great, and I think it's up to whatever a person wants to do, but I just wanted that natural hand rubbed look, and I like it, and 2 years later I like it. Probably the downside to that is you have to treat it every year, about twice a year, to keep oil in it. And I think this bed probably is just about ready to do that. I use Old English oil. There's several different ones you can use, but it really moistens the wood, makes it look good, and repels water also. The other options, they make aluminum beds for these now that you can have murals put on. And I think they're pretty cool. I've seen one with a Chevy sign in it. I've seen one with Betty Boop in it. I've seen one with a 50s pinup girl in it. And then you can design your own. I would love to design one with my shop logo on it, but it's about $2,500 and that ain't going to happen. So that's just how it is. And you can do different kinds of wood. This is a red oak. And again, it's just my personal preference. If I was going to do it again, I would put a pine bed in it and oil it just like the original ones. I think that looks good, and you can use it more. And I do use this truck quite a bit to haul stuff in. And, I have to be careful because I don't want to tear the stainless up. Wood's repairable. The stainless is expensive and not as repairable, especially if you gouge it. But I love this hand rubbed look, and I like the aged look. It just, that's what makes me happy. And as I tell everybody, you build them the way you want to, and don't worry about all the people that drive around or look at your car at shows and go, I wouldn't have done this or I wouldn't have done that. Now, you might have seen this book laying in the bed here a minute ago. What I do with that is you put it over top the bolts, and that way when you're putting the nuts on, your bolt doesn't push back up through on you. And you can use anything heavy. The book works real good. That's what I've always used when I put those beds in. And it works out great. A couple things I'll just show you. When we put our side bolts in, these are all natural color. What I do is clean them up and then clear them. And I have all the bolts underneath the hood the same way. I just cleaned them up and cleared them. This truck is the original blue color. What we did change, this is a Buick Bronze from 1998. I didn't care for the white top. I think it sticks out too much. And if you really kind of look at it now with that bronze, and a lot of people think it's silver, I think it really makes that blue pop. And I have to appreciate and thank my daughter for talking me into the blue, because I did not like the blue because of the white top. But once we come to the ideal of the bronze top, it made a huge difference for me. And then we de-chromed this sail panel. I just wanted to take a little bit of chrome out of the top. And if I didn't have to buy a new chrome for this truck, I might have painted the old chrome that was on it. But since I have a great deal of money tied up in that chrome, I was not going to paint it. And I got a custom seat in this truck. You sit kind of low in it, but I like it. Bought this off a gentleman in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I think it's a fantastic seat. Love the way it sits. So that's just to give you an idea of what I did today, getting my bed all straightened up. I had a lot more stuff to do, but this morning I just said, today's the day. Let's get this bed fixed so I can quit worrying about it. I've been to 4 or 5 shows this year. We've taken a few trophies. Of course, no first place trophies, and that's not what I'm looking for. To be honest with you, not even looking for trophies. I just like to go to cruise-ins and shows. And the truck's been very well received. A lot of people love it. Some people don't, and that doesn't bother me. I've got a few more things to do. I've got new caps coming for my wheels, which I thought would be here. And I'll do a video on that, but what I'm going to do is paint the wheels the bronze color, take the trim rings off, and put this new cap on it, which is a lot smaller cap. And it should have been in about 2 days ago, but it hasn't come in yet. But I think that's really going to make the truck pop. I've been trying to take as much chrome as possible off the truck. I did not put the aluminum grill in. I put a metal grill in that I had and painted it the bronze color. And that's why I want to paint the wheels bronze and take the trim rings off. Bumpers are still up in the air. These bumpers need to be re-chromed, and I have not decided if I want to paint them or powder coat them the bronze color which I've been to my powder coater, and he has one that matches almost identical to that color. I think would look great. Do I want to go the deeper bronze color that my headlight ring is done with and my sail panel, or do I want to stay chrome? And I'm still decision making on that, and that's why those bumpers are still on there. They take away from the truck a little bit, but I have not made a complete decision on what I want to do yet. So they'll stay on there now until probably I'll take them off in November, make a decision, either take them to the chromer or get them powder coated. But that's where we are, what we've been working on today in the shop, and I appreciate you all watching the videos. Hope it helps out. Hope it entertains you. And hopefully before long we'll have some better interesting and more entertaining videos as my daughter gets up here and we get a camera system in the shop where we can video as we work and not use the phone. What I've been using is the phone. I like using it. And so, hey, come back and see me.